Hi, I'm Scott. Welcome back to Synth Stuff. Today, something new is the Korg Multi-Poly Native coming up. You can probably already tell from this video that this is a little bit of a different video. I'm using a different camera. This is actually literally an HD webcam I'm using rather than my usual higher quality camera. My lighting is atrocious. The video quality is atrocious, but fortunately you're going to have to be stuck looking at my face for long because we are going to be looking at the Korg Multi-Poly Native app, which is a soft synth or a VST synth. It came out on March 6th and I snapped it up. If you saw my recent video, I was talking about which would be my next synthesizer, and I was maybe thinking that my Op6 was going to go away because I need somewhere to put the multi-poly, because I really like the Korg multi-poly. I really like what it's about and what it can do and what it sounds like, most importantly. But then they came out with the multi-poly native, which is the software version, and it's an identical in terms of performance. You can put the same patches on it. It does exactly the same things. So I thought, you know what? Special for 150 bucks, I'm going to get out the credit card and we're going to try out the Korg Multi-Poly Native and get us a feel for what this thing can really do. All right, enough of this horrendous video. Let's transition over to this page, and you can see this is what you get with the Korg Multi-Poly. Now, again, this is going to be a different video because normally when I do a review or play around with a synthesizer like this, I know everything there is to know about the synthesizer. I know how it works, I know all the functions, and I'm able to demonstrate that. Well, not this time. You and I are going to be exploring this for the first time together. I have not seen this yet. I know about the Korg Multi-Poly. I know basically how it works and what it does, but this is something new for me. So what I do know about the Korg Multi-Poly is that it is a fairly complex virtual analog synthesizer with 4 oscillators per layer, and it has 4 layers. And just like the JD800, which is right there, you can see there's actually 4 buttons right there, and those are the 4 layers that you use on the JD800. And basically it's just like the original Gaia, where you have 4 separate instances of the synthesizer, and each of them operates as an independent copy of the synthesizer. And so like the JD800, the multi-poly has 4 layers. Unlike the JD800, each of those 4 layers has 4 individual oscillators. So that gives you a lot of layering and complex, you can create some very complex sounds. So let's get a good look at the user interface of the multi-poly. If you've used Korg native synths before, then you might be familiar with some of this, and I have, because I have the Wavestate and Op6 native as well. So here we are on the performance screen. We can see we have a Kaoss pad right here, and here's our layer A, where we have oscillator 1, oscillator 2, 3, and 4. So if I get rid of me here for a moment, you can see we have, in this sound, which it defaulted to is Tom Sawyer Sweep, we have only 2 oscillators in 2 layers playing. Let's see what that sounds like. Obviously, that's the Tom Sawyer sound from Rush, the beginning of that sound. Actually, I think it's an F sharp. And that was, I think, originally an Oberheim that created that sound. So they must have an SEM filter in there that's doing that. So that's the performance screen. I don't know if the oh yeah, the Kaoss Physics is actually active on this one. That's pretty cool. Let's see how the mod and pitch wheels work on this. Yep, they work just as you would expect them to. All right, so that's our performance screen, and it seems like we have we can add noise and adjust 2 different filters per layer. Oh, and look at that, we have 2 layers, so we have separate filters for each layer because each layer is an individual synthesizer. So layer A is our only active layer on the screen. We have noise, we can add ring mod, so if we wanted to add noise in here, we could do that. Bring the volume up. Oh, and look at that, we have SEM. So we do have an SEM filter on this. You can see it defaults there. Here's all our different filter types. We want to do an MS-20, we get a different sound. Let me get rid of the noise. You can see the MS-20 has a lot more resonance to it than the SEM. What other filters have we got in here? A 4-pole. That's pretty cool. All right, so we do have all kinds of different filters in here we use. We have a ring mod, which isn't going to do a whole. There we go. And we could bring in a second filter if we wanted to, a ladder filter. That's pretty cool. If we wanted to add more oscillators, let me turn off this filter. And how do we, oh, okay. We can say we want a pulse triangle combination on here. And this one we want to turn on, and it's going to be detuned saw. Okay. So let's turn up this one. Let's turn down these other ones. That's interesting. So I have all of them turned off, but I still have sound coming through. So there must be something. Oh, I have these actually. So if we turn off this one, and actually just turn on the one. That's pretty cool. How about this one here? Or we could say, oh yeah, I can hear some detuning in there. All right, so now if we turn them all on, that's pretty cool. All right, and then we can obviously adjust the Kaoss Physics here. We can the bump and the friction and time and lag time and so on. All right, so that's our performance section here, and also we can play it by pressing keys with our mouse here. We do have control over an arpeggiator if we want to turn that on. And then layer rotate, I guess if we have more than one layer, we can have it so that each time we press a key, I guess it's going to rotate through the layers so we can get a little more dynamicism in the sound. So this is our player screen right here. And next we have, well, let's go ahead and look at the other main controls. We have a tempo up here. We can tell it to use our internal clock, external or automatic. We have the level output here. We can do a randomize. So if we do a randomize here, we get a completely random sound. That's pretty cool. And if we do it again, we get something different. Or nothing at all. That happens sometimes. Let's try it again. Yep, nothing again. Try again. That's pretty dull. I do like that you can change. Like here we're randomizing everything, but you could tell it, hey, I just want to randomize the arpeggiator. And that way, whatever the arpeggiator gets set to, it's going to randomize whatever the settings are for the arpeggio. So you can limit as to what portions of the sound it's actually going to randomize. Over here we have overall settings. I haven't even looked at any of this. If I could read these this time. Oh, aftertouch. You can do channel and poly aftertouch. Oh, nice. So it responds to poly aftertouch. I should be using my Hydrasynth to play this. There we go. And what else? We have MIDI settings. Oh, we can make it bigger if we want to. That's kind of nice. I should have done that before I actually starting this video, but oh well. Editor, undo. Oh yeah, and I see undo and redo buttons down here. So if you screw something up, like we did a randomize, we want to go back to the sound that we had a few randomizers ago. Where was that sound? Okay. There it is. Oh, that's a cool one. All right, whatever. Okay, so that's our top level controls there. And look, we can change scales. So we have all kinds of different scales that we can use in here, an Arabic scale. And we can change what it's, our bass note is. We want to do transposition. Very nice. Okay, so let's have a look at the Librarian, where we can look at all the different patches that it comes with. And look at the dates on these. There's July of 2023. So clearly this thing has been under development for quite some time. There's not a huge, I guess 345. I guess that's a fair amount of patches we can play with in here. And we have a 4 oscillator lead if we want to pick that. 70 string machine. That's not bad. Uh, 80s VHS strings. Okay. 90s Rave Massacre. Yep. Transplux. Okay, we could do this all day and just sit here and play through all of these. I'm sure somebody else has already done this on the internet. Betty Davis Eyes synth claps. Do 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 do. Nope, something a little snappier. Give me a moment here to find something here. That one you can hear has a sequencer in it. We'll look at that one in a moment. All right, that'll do. So now we're editing this sound, and you can see we have play, librarian, and edit. So here's where we edit the sounds. We can see we can select between the 4 layers. This one has 2 different layers, A and B, and each of those then has, we have synthesis, where we have the 4 oscillators, and we can see that we have all these different oscillators that we can pick from, and some of these look like they are, oh, I see what it is. Okay, so let's go to a blank layer here, and we're going to turn on layer C so we can play with it, and you can see we have a number of different waveforms. Here we have our basic analog waveforms that are just like basic virtual analog waveforms, and we can pick one of those. But then over here, if we go here, we can see we have, what is this, digital waveforms. So now we've got all these digital sounds. Oh my gosh, look at them all. And we have waves, oh, sounds from the wave state format. Okay, is there an init in here? Well, let's just turn off layer A and B, so we only heard C. So if we go back here, this is what we're hearing. So using that, we can morph through and move through the wavetable. That's pretty cool. And those are all kinds of, oh my God, look at them all. There's so many in there. Here's a Vox format. All right, so we have all kinds of digital waveforms to choose from in here as well. Wow, this thing is deep, deep, deep. FM screamer. Oh yeah, sounds like FM. And then over here, what do we have? Oh, Wave Shaper. And that's an FM as well. Oh, what did I do? Looks like I just killed it because I'm no longer getting any sound out of it. Is the keyboard working still? Let me go to play here. Nope, I killed it. All right, looks like it's not entirely bug-free yet. So let me get rid of that and start it back up again. Okay, we're back. Okay, so yeah, it looks like we might have a few little bugs here and there. Oh, and look at it, kept the where we were. And what wave shapes do we have? We have all kinds of different wave shapes in here. Cool. All right, so you can see that we've got a ton of different sounds that we can use to begin with, using all these different waves and so on. I'm going to turn off layer C and turn back on layers B and A, so then we have this sound that we're playing. And we can look at a couple things. I know there's a chord function in here somewhere. And let's see if I can find where that is. Oh, set up in chord. Let me get rid of me here. Set up in chord. Oh yeah, here we go, chords. Okay, so if we turn on our chord function here, and yep, when I press a key, it's playing C3, G3, D2. So, but we can play a chord. And let's see, let me play a C minor. And I don't think we have to have the chord turned on for this, but I can say if I enter chord from, no, I do have to have it turned on. Okay, enter chord from MIDI, I play a chord, and you can see it actually changed that. Actually, let's play a more interesting chord. Let's play a there we go. So a diminished seventh. Okay, so now, every time I press a note, that sounds pretty terrible. Let's do that again. That sounds pretty terrible, so let's do that again. I'll just play a minor chord. And now. So just by pressing the one key, I get to press, it plays an entire chord. So that's cool. Program setup. So here we have, we can change the volume and pitch of what? Oh, the overall. So the overall volume, if we can transpose octaves or notes. And we have, we can trigger with a key on or key off. Interesting. That's pretty cool. I'm pressing it down, and when I let it up, it plays a different note. We can have more oversampling if we want to improve the quality of the sound. And right now it's in poly mode with a single trigger, and we can change how many voices we're going to have. So if we want to say 6 unison, thicken it up, and detune it. If we don't want stereo, we can get rid of that. Although the effects are still stereo. That's pretty cool. Okay, what else have we got here? Layer setup. We can, oh, this is for the entire program, but here we can do it for individual layers, it looks like. Layer setup. Global MIDI channel, receive damper. So we can have the damper be, or other CCs affect only individual layers. That's cool. Okay. And it is a poly sound we're playing. We could switch that to mono if we wanted to, or a mono legato, so we can do this kind of thing. That doesn't really work well, that sound, but you do that more for a bass sound. So if I do a search for bass, oh here, let's just do this, aggressive bass. Yeah, so it's got it turned on. hear what that does. Okay, what else have we got here? So that is our synthesis, and we have our noise sync. Oh, we have cross mod. We have portamento we can put in here, and we can alter the drift, oscillator drift, so it sounds like an old analog synth that's going out of tune. We have the amplifier and drive, so we can put some drive in there. Ooh, a random pan. That's pretty cool. We can alter LFO, key track, and so on. Okay, so pretty standard analog synth stuff. Ring mod, sync, cross mod, portamento. Okay, so what do we have? Oh, we have this button here. Oh, I see. So this switches up and down, so we can kind of tab up and down between these two panels here. And here, yeah, so now we're editing filter A. We can change the envelope affecting filter A, LFO affecting it. And okay, that makes sense. And then our pitch, we can detune our pitch. How much of the mod wheel going to affect our LFO? My mod wheel. Yep. And we can mix between all the different parts in this performance here. So that is our synthesis panel. And then we have our sequencer, and this looks very familiar. This is just like the sequencer that's in the wave state, where we can sequence our timing, our pitch, the shape of each item. So if we wanted to say the timing is going to be 1/16, and then this one, actually I guess we have to turn it on first. There we go. And this one we want to make it an 1/8 or a half dot or whatever. And then we can change the actual pitch. Where do we edit the, oh, there it is, the pitch right here. So we can say this is going to be up and down, and then up and down. And how long is it going to be? Well, let's make it 4. And we can say, hopefully, yeah, we can make this loop here. And we could make this one, say, loop this long. And so you can, all these different lanes, you can have them different length of loops, so we can change the shape. Yeah, okay. This is exactly the same as the wave state. Okay, and then we have A, B, and C, D sequencers that we can connect to whatever we want. And if you want, you can have them use the notes. So I'm not going to go into the sequencer on here, but it is fairly capable. Well, it's incredibly capable. And you can see the timing is different. Oh, that was too long. So you can see how it's moving through. This one's only 4 long, and this one, these are all moving through 16. And actually there's 16, 32, and so 64. We have 64 steps because we have 4 pages, and we can put all 64 in there if we want. You can see them all at once. And if we want, we can put musical symbols on there so you can see the actual notes. And oh, that's pretty cool. Note advance. Oh, we can step through there. Okay, so yes, has the typical Korg wave state type sequencer. So you can make motions or sequences in here that can be quite complex, and you can actually create things that are almost organic and that don't repeat for technically years, because you can make all these different things, different lengths, and they'll only ever line up once like that every so often. So yes, it's only 64 notes, but by changing things like the pitch and the timing and the shape differently in different lengths, you can make it alter itself progressively over time. It's extremely flexible. And then here's our setup and chord, which we already looked at. And then lastly, we have our effects. And if I get rid of myself here, we can see we have a pre-effects, which is, oh, a guitar amp is what we're defaulting to here. We've got a compressor and all kinds of stuff. So if we have a different preset for this guitar amp, crank up the drive, and we could say I want this type of amp with this type of cabinet. Oh, we could turn on the cabinet. There we go. How about a compressor? Oh yeah, I hear that. All right, I'm just going to switch to a different sound. So in here, we can have our mod effects. We have a chorus. And what kind of chorus we want? We want a super chorus. And then over here we have a delay. Tape back, go. Let's do we have left, center, right delay. All right, so standard delay. So 3 guitar slots, one that is a limited one, and then we have our mod, and then we have a delay. So the mod is our chorus and flanger, and EP chorus, talking modulator, Vox. Wow, we have some interesting sounds in here. Okay, what do we have up here? We have Arpeggiator, which we talked about previously, and we have our Kaoss Physics panel, which we can turn on and off. Main effects, which was our, oh, we have reverb, a separate reverb on here. Okay, so that's in addition to the, oh, okay, so we have per layer effects, which you can see here. There's our effects. We have these separate effects for each individual layer, and then we have global effects, which is where we find our reverb and our EQ. All right, and then we can have these mod knobs, which we can assign to whatever we want. So that's more of a performance. Over here, keyboard zones. We can set up that if we're going to play on our keyboard, that here's where layer A is going to respond to, and then layer B is going to respond from here to here, and so on. So technically, you could use this as a multi-timbral synth, have 4 different sounds, one on each layer, and play them all across your keyboard on your controller or your synth or whatever you have MIDI to it. Same thing, you could do different velocities. So let's do this the other way around. So we'll put this up here, and this one down here. So now if I play it gently, we get just the B layer sound. And you can see up here the little VU from B layer. And as I play it harder, then both of them start sounding. And if I play really hard, only the layer A sounds. So we can split it that way. And then of course we can change our scales and so on. Modulation list. What in the hell is this? Oh my God, look at this. This is a mod matrix? Oh my gosh. Mod source, intensity, mod source 2, and destination. This is a massive, oh my God, look at them all. Huge, huge mod matrix. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I can't even count how many there are in there. There's so many. So we can link anything to anything else. And pretty much if we want to have our Kaoss Physics, where did I see that? Now I've lost it. There's so many in here. I guess if we want to do performance only, oh, I see, all, and then we could say we want Kaoss. There we go. So right now their mod knob is, the source is Kaoss, and the destination is mod knob 3. So Kaoss X is going to mod knob 3. Okay, so this is a way that you can be not totally lost trying to figure out what is where. Now how do we get out of this? Oh, all. That's how we go back to all. And then we can see everything. Wow, I'm so blown away by this. I suspect the multi-poly native user interface is far more usable than the actual hardware keyboard. And that's usually the case because you can put far more controls on here. But wow, and the amplitude envelope, you can change the curve. It's got a custom curve, and you can change it so it matches that of an Odyssey, ARP Odyssey. So now the curve used in the amplitude and is matching. Wow, okay, that's really cool. Wow, Korg. I'm sure this is Dan Phillips. Dan Phillips is just a genius and a super nice guy. I was fortunate enough to be on a podcast a couple of years ago with Dan Phillips and got to talk to him for quite a while, and he's just the nicest guy and brilliant, and this has his fingerprints all over it. So I'm so impressed with this piece of software and this synthesizer. Wow, it's deep, deep, deep. You can do some amazing things in this. It's obviously supposed to be trying to be everything to everyone, and I think they have really kind of hit it out of the park. Now, I don't think that I have come anywhere near covering all the stuff that has in here. I'm sure there's stuff that I have missed, but this video could be 4 hours long and I probably won't have gotten into every single function in here. But hopefully this has given you some idea of what this thing can do and what it sounds like. Yeah, I'm not going to go through all the different presets in here because there's just so many that it would take me forever to hit them all and nobody would watch this video. I'm sure there's going to be lots of other videos on YouTube where people are just going through the different presets and playing them. And hey, maybe I will do the same thing at some point, but for now, I think I have this for a first look at this thing. I am just blown away. It seems to be very easy to use. Like I said, this is the first time I've seen it. I have not read the manual. I know a little bit about how the synth works, but as you saw, I was able to understand and comprehend how all the functions worked in there and was able to use it and modify things. And it only crashed once. You can see well, actually, it didn't lock up. It just stopped making sound. And when I just reset it, closed it, reopened it, it fixed it. It didn't even lose what I was working on. It just kept all the settings I had been working on. So that's pretty cool too. So even if you do crash, it doesn't go away. You don't lose your work. Well, if you have any comments, suggestions, or especially corrections, Dan, I'm looking at you, please leave them in the comments section below. If you like this kind of video, click like on this video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me when you do that. I appreciate all you guys coming along for this ride with me. Thanks for watching.